I'm still listening to the song online. Hey everybody, happy Wednesday. How y'all doing out there? Happy Wednesday. It's
Good.
us, Diane, Ty, and Devonia. We are excited as usual for a great night of ladies and lyrics. If you are joining us, hey Karen. Karen already know the drill. Go ahead and shout us out. Say hi. What's up? How y'all doing? Happy Wednesday to everybody out there. If you're on right now, go ahead and just speak to us. Let us know. Let us know you're online with us. We get so excited when we see our names pop up and we know we got people watching and listening, especially those people that come back every single week. So thank you so much for coming, joining us every week, 7 p.m. Central Time, 8 p.m. Eastern. For all those that's out there, maybe near Diane. But thank you so much. We're so excited for another great night of music. So go ahead, say hi, come on in here, say what's up, ladies. How y'all doing? And we're gonna go ahead and get started. We're gonna jump into this like right now, because I know the ladies are ready. Wait, before we do that, I like to check in with my co-host. Ty got her hair. She did a blowout. Look at her. She shaking that blowout. I see you shaking that blowout. Ty blew her hair. It looks cute. Diane still straight with her little funky style. So, ladies, how are y'all doing today?
Good.
Okay, good. I see.
I'm good.
Good. All right, good.
Yeah.
All right. So then let's get started. Let's jump in there. We got some good music, real talk with us, dope women.
Yes. Y'all know I got my baby. I got my furry baby. And I took her to the vet on Monday to get her shots. And I thought I was gonna be, I thought I was gonna be, oh, okay, take her. I almost started crying. I never thought that I mean I had a dog before, but this is a whole different experience. I wonder if anybody ever, how do you feel about your pet if you have? Everybody don't have a pet, but how do you feel? Like, do your pet become a part of your life? I just love her so much, and it's like she woke up this morning at 5 o'clock. I said, "No, we can't do this." But when they took, I was like, oh my God, I just wanted to cry. And then when I came back to get her, the lady at the front desk was like, everybody was just loving all over her. I said, oh, yes, I'm a proud mom of a furry baby. I am. It's like, and she's just so loved, and I'm just getting gifts like she's a baby. And I went to get something to eat. So I wasn't going to take her, but she was, woke, and I never left her before. So, no one by herself. So anyway, I put in a little carry thing. It was so light. She was so light. I was like, my God. Well, anyway, I put it in. She must have felt like she was on a roller coaster. Because when I looked over at the little thing, she was way over. When I got her back home, she was exhausted. She was just like, I don't know if it was my driving or just the experience of riding in the car in that little thing. Like, because she couldn't get it together for like an hour. I was like, is she breathing? Is she okay? I think I need to take her out a little bit more. So have you had that experience, Devonia? I know that you have your baby.
Leo is like, we like Leo now. We like this. Yes, I am. I'm so protective of him. He's like they become really a part of your family. And if anything happens to them, you're just like, oh my God. I remember Leo had something wrong with his eye. I'm like, oh no, I gotta get him to the vet. I need to find out what's going on. I'm frantic. I was supposed to go out of town. I'm like, I can't go out of town. My baby's sick. So I started looking for a dog, the vets in Memphis because I was going to Memphis. I started looking for vets in Memphis. I'm like, well, I'm going to take you to the doctor. You got to attend to your baby. That's my baby. That's my baby. And
yeah. Now I'm saying I have a funny story because I had dogs before when I was married, and I had a beagle. Her name was Salsa, and I had her for like 3 or 4 years, I think. and I had a boxer named Buddy. We only had him for like a little under a year, but when the we had to give both of our dogs away. Well, actually, the Beagle I had rescued her from a shelter called Midwest Brew, and they specialize in only having beagles, and it's a whole thing. They have like this whole adoption rule where like if you can no longer care for the dog that you got from their organization, you have to give it back and things like that. So yeah, Salsa was my baby. So when we were moving and where we were moving to, we couldn't have pets. And I think it too was more so because at the time I was married, but our marriage was a little rocky. So like neither one of us kind of really knew what our situation was going to end up in. So we just decided that we would just give her back, return her to the organization. But I cried for a whole week. Like up until the day I had to, like, it was time to go and take her to, I cried every day. Looking at her, I cried. And it was like, that was my baby. So yeah, you really do become attached to your pets. That's why I understand people who can be so abusive to animals. Like I don't understand people who do that. And like even like for me, I'm a turtle mom now. I love Frank more than Kendall love him. Like my son, he's a little baby, but he's still technically considered like a little baby. But I love that little turtle. Like we have conversations every day, and like yeah. And I really see a future in my. Not a future of like fostering, but I think I'm probably gonna be a big benefactor to pet organizations because I love pets. I will sit and watch you like on Facebook if I'm just scrolling. I'll be sitting hours watching those rescue rehabilitation animal videos. It don't matter if it's a goat, a pig, a sheep, dog, cat, bird, whatever. I will sit and watch those videos of rescuing them, rehabilitating them, funny videos, whatever. I don't know, I'm a Mrs. Little Dr. Doolittle probably, you know.
Oh,
Yeah, it's something about those pets that
yes, absolutely.
something about them. Yeah, I make a joke that I mean Leo has toys all over the house. It's like I live, it's just the two of us, but his toys are all over the house. And so I make the joke that he doesn't live with me, I live with him. This is his house. This is his place. I live with him. And anybody come visit me, I'm sorry that this is his house. If you don't like it, then you can't come. He's not going anywhere. So no, this is his home. So yeah, I know. I'm extreme. I think I've gotten really extreme with my baby though.
I don't feel alone then because when she you know go to the bathroom like and she might step in her pee. I have to wipe her paws and I wipe her paws and when I wipe her butt. Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. And it's like now she doesn't run. She knows that I'm gonna do it, you know, especially when they real hairy like that. You know, don't nobody want nothing caked up on them. That's my thinking. And she got to be right. I am really in love.
Well, she's not old enough to be groomed yet, but when she gets groomed, you don't have to worry about that because I mean, I'm assuming you'll make sure that those are the areas that's groomed. Okay. So even when I don't give Leo a haircut, I have them to do, I forgot what areas they call them, but like his face, his paws, and his around and his butt area, they make sure all of that is cleaned up so none be, you know, stuck in here.
Oh, okay. Because let me tell you,
but something. She's not old enough to be groomed yet. She hasn't had all her shots and all of that. So
yeah. So I will. Yeah, I'm in love. I am. I'm.
Anybody else out there have any pets and that you just kind of extreme like us? Because when on Leo's birthday, I bought him a little hat that said "Birthday Boy."
Oh, it's cute.
Yes. He had the little handkerchief that said "Birthday Boy." I took pictures. I took him out to get custard. He likes custard. They give you this complimentary little kid size custard. I took him because he loves it, and that's what I got him for his birthday. And then we went to the pet store to get treats because he loves his treat. So I was like, it's his birthday. We're celebrating.
Yeah, I'm supposed to give you a puppuccino.
Huh?
Yeah.
Where's
The
this at?
Starbucks. You just ask for, yeah.
Okay, we going Starbucks
Yeah,
next
they
year.
have puppuccinos. They can give you a puppuccino for your dog. Yeah.
Oh,
And like,
yes.
especially like because when I live here in Chicago, so when I worked up on the north side is pretty pet friendly.
Yeah.
Like literally, you can
Mhm.
go, and especially in the summertime, you out there, they'll bring you food for your dog. Like some restaurants literally will have food for your dog, and so if you come to sit down to eat, they'll be like, okay, here's a treat for the dog or whatever. Or some restaurants or some establishments, they'll have like water,
Yeah,
dispensers
those
and
little
stuff for
yeah
the animals
outside.
and everything.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
So
they
Oh,
will.
they have,
people don't play about their animals.
no, they don't. They have pet bars
Hmm.
and pet restaurants now. So
Yeah.
yeah. Wait till she
Hmm.
get bigger. Oh my God. I don't know if I'm gonna do the clothes thing.
It's too hot in North Carolina for that. That's the one. Like it's too hot in North Carolina for
To put
that.
clothes
Maybe
on?
when it gets colder, like in the
Yeah.
winter and the fall. But right now in the summer, I wouldn't put any color.
Yeah.
Leo had a little vest, and
Mm.
now when I was out of town, he chewed it up. But he had this little like part. He did. I said, "What?" He chewed out the little things, so I can't zip it. He might have to throw it away. But every time we went out in the winter, he put his little black vest on, and we were outside. Yeah, see, so he had a
Oh,
winter jacket. Now I got a new jacket. Look, like I'm a mama. I got to buy him a new jacket for the winter because he tore his jacket up. So
oh. Yes, I'm gonna give her some things. They have this lady. Okay.
Karen says, I have three now. I'm dog sitting for two of them until my dog is 9 years old, female. What kind of dog, Karen? And then she says, now I have 2-year-old girl, 4-year-old boy. Oh, they are yours.
Yorkies.
That's three. Okay.
Yeah.
All righty. You gonna have to
Yeah.
send
And
us some
then
pictures.
this guy said to me, "Oh, you have a little dog. Like that's a thing. Like he said that's a thing for like single women to have these little dogs." I'm like,
I know
Yeah.
grown men that got little dogs.
I was
Treat them
gonna
better
say,
than the women they be with.
yeah, let me tell you, yes, in this neighborhood where I live at, you will see a lot of big men walking them little dogs, and they be big men. Yes, absolutely. Yes. Oh my God. Yes.
Hmm.
I
They
saw this quote. Let's see. I wanted to share this with y'all because I think it's so relevant to a lot of us women. I lost it. Let me find it real quick. And I was marinating on it. Well, I'm gonna share that quote then. I want to share my pastor's scripture. I think I want to make that a thing every week from now on. What he put. So this is what I saw on Facebook. Sis, breathe. There's no award for overworked female of the year.
Oh.
Hmm.
Right? I said the same thing because I admit that I fell into that new thing like hustle, grind. That's the word that it was. It was grind, grind, grind. I fell into that for a little while. I'm like, I got to be grinding every day, no rest, 24, 7 days a week. You go, I'm grinding. I fell into that whole thing that everybody's doing, like you got to be grind. I no longer I don't no longer think that way. I don't think that I need to fill up all of my time and be grinding all the time. Not only do I not think that, I feel like it's unhealthy. I'm
Yeah,
just
it does.
personally, it's unhealthy. It's unhealthy. So what's that? Yep, I'm coming up with the scripture that my pastor sent today, or his little word that he says every week. But yeah, so I just thought it made me think about to that time when I was in that same mindset. You gotta be grinding, you gotta be grinding. But no, you do have to work hard on the times that you're working. I believe in that. You gotta put in your time if you want to be successful. But I'm not grinding. I'm not grinding. There was another post I put up from my pastor that said grind, and it was scratched out with a line, and it said align.
Mm.
Not
Mm.
grind, but a line.
And you know what?
Yes.
That's true because literally, I had did a Facebook live yesterday, and God keeps putting in my mind about Abraham. He and how the Lord puts it in my mind is just walk, just walk. That's what He tells me. Just walk. Just do what you're supposed to do every day, and then as you go on about your business and being about my business, then I'm gonna tell you what to do because that's exactly what happened to Abraham. Abraham was just living his life, tending to his field, his flock, his people or whatever. And God said one day, hey, just get up, go to this other country. This is what I'm about to do for you. This is what I want you to do. I feel like that's alignment. Just
Yeah.
live your life. Let's stop making it such a big thing. Like we grind because that breeds anxiety and all this other stuff. You
Yeah.
sit there putting 24 hours of work in every day, and then eventually you get the feeling like, well, what am I doing all this for? It's not paying off because you doing a lot but not listening. A lot of our success comes from listening, I think.
I dislike the word busy. I
Mm,
dislike that word. And when people ask me, like, how was your day? And I have a day that's been really full, I rather leave the word full. Then I don't use the word busy because busy can mean a lot of things. Busy doesn't mean productive. That's
no.
totally
Right.
different. You could be doing all these things, but you have not been productive. So let's use words like productive, or full. It was a productive day. I love to say that. It was a productive day, not a busy day, because busy could mean I have not been successful in all these things, but I've been around here doing this, doing that, doing that. So just like productive day. So anyway, I saw that post, and I know that the three of us do a lot. So just want to remind my sisters and anybody else that's out there listening, you don't have to be grinding all the time, and you shouldn't be. There's no award for overworked lady of the year.
I love that.
That was a
Absolutely.
good one.
So we
All
can.
right, let me read this scripture really quick before we get lyrical. It said today, wait a minute, let me say this real quick. I love that this is set on Wednesdays when we have this show. It's set every Wednesday. Every opportunity is not a God opportunity.
Mhm.
And this is why you must pray about each one. And in Proverbs, and this is one of my favorite scriptures, Proverbs 3:6 says, in all thy ways acknowledge him,
Yeah.
and he will direct your path.
Yes,
So
absolutely.
that's
What I
that's
said about
that's the
that.
word. That's the
Thank you.
word.
That's the word.
Right.
Absolutely.
Not knowing
Absolutely.
that what you was
Yeah,
going
Todd
to
just was saying that. Yep. You got to just stay focused and listen and let God guide you where you need to be.
Well, look at my
Absolutely.
church today. Faith.
Yes.
So
Oh,
our conversation, all of that was aligned already today with that scripture. So I love these Wednesdays when we're about to talk. But that's a good one because not every opportunity is a God opportunity. So
no,
don't jump on every opportunity.
no.
I fell into that rut too, but I'll say that for another show because it's time to get lyrical. Y'all see how hyped I got? I got hyped. I got hyped because this song is by one of my favorite. This is one of my favorite songs from I think this was out in the 80s. Yep. And this person shares my birthday, though I really can't see how we're like, but we share the same birthday. And he started his career with my favorite group from the 90s, 80s, 90s, New Edition. Who don't love New Edition? I will go to a New Edition concert every year if I could. They just need to stay together. But he started his career New Edition. Not only did he start his career, he founded that group. But he left the group, but he started his own career, solo career. This song that we're going to play tonight, I chose because tonight is co-host choice, and it was my turn to choose. And so I chose this person because I remember going to his concert. He was the very first concert I ever went to. And I was excited. And I always liked him because he can move. That boy can move. I think he was an entertainer more than anything. And so anyway, this song is from his second album, Don't Be Cruel. I know y'all know who I'm talking about. Who am I talking about? Who knows what I'm talking about? Y'all know. Put it in the comments. Put it in the comments. Okay, but I got to say a little bit more about him. Anyway, he's called the bad boy of R&B. We gave y'all that hint if you look inside the group. He's a singer, songwriter, rapper, dancer, and this song was a #1 hit. I'm trying to see if anybody knows what I'm talking about before I tell you all what it is. Okay, I can't wait any longer. I was just going to just go. All right, the song that I chose tonight is My Prerogative by Bobby Brown.
Yes.
Okay, y'all. I'm gonna get this together one day. All right now.
I don't need permission, make my own decisions. That's my prerogative. Okay. All right. So yes, My Prerogative by Bobby Brown. That was a hit. That was one of his #1 hit. Karen said Bobby Brown. Yep, Bobby Brown. Um, I love this song because I like the meaning behind it. Maybe we are alike in a lot of ways because I feel like what I want to do is what I want to do, and I'm gonna do it whether anybody likes it or not. I have some questions for my co-host once we really dig into this song. But I'll just leave it right there because I have some more that I want to say about these lyrics. But I want to know what you ladies thought about this song. And did you love New Edition like I do? Did y'all?
Yes, I did.
That was one of the only posters on my wall was New Edition and Michael Jackson.
Okay. I went to a New Edition concert. My girlfriend was taking her daughter, and I was pregnant with my son. And I had to be 8 months pregnant with my first son, and he is 35 now. And I went to see them, and oh my God, it was just amazing. And I love this song too. And this song is about when he was leaving the group, and they gonna give him a hard time. And all he wanted to do is spread his wings. You know, that's how when I thought about the song is he wanted to spread his wings, you know, he was when he talked about my brother, he said, all I want to do is try to, when he was talking about them, he's just trying to better himself and do what he has to do for himself, but not saying I'm forgetting about you. But I got to do my own thing. Everybody, and just in life in general, sometimes it's hard for people when you stepping out from the norm, or you stepping out, you getting ready to do something different. They want to find something negative. Like when he would say, y'all say I'm nasty. So I'm nasty now, but I wasn't nasty when I was pulling us together. I wasn't nasty when I got us where we are today, even though they did it collectively. It's like sometimes people want to take those things because people get selfish too. They don't want you to leave. I want you to leave the group, even though they all later on went on and did their own solo career. But he wanted to do his thing, and Bobby is creative, and back then he was yes, he was the bad boy. He was a little kid to me, but because the girls when after that concert, the little girls was like, "Oh, Bobby, mommy, Bobby!" I was like, "Okay."
Karen says one of the New Edition used to come to the projects in the Bronx to see a girl. She lived in my building. I don't remember his name, but it was a short one. Oh, Bills.
Mike Bivens. Probably
Bivens.
Mike Bivens. Yeah, it's probably Mike Bivens.
Awesome show. Thank you, Loretta.
Thank you, Loretta. It was probably Michael Bivens.
Yeah, because he's the only really short one in the group. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I know for me, well, of course, I was younger, but I know like one of my favorite videos from New Edition was Mr. Telephone Man.
Okay.
I love Mr. Telephone Man. I was a little fast, so I had a crush on all the older boys. So I like Bobby Brown in particular. Yeah, I had a crush on him, and then I had a crush on Ronnie. I love me some Ronnie.
Yeah.
But with New Edition, and well, Bobby Brown, period. First of all, this is what you could say about New Edition. You could tell that group was full of all talent. because they all like, even when they broke up, every last one of them was successful. Every
Yeah.
group was successful. Um, Ralph Transvant was successful. Uh, Johnny Gill was successful by himself. Bobby Brown was successful by himself. So, and then
Bell
Bell
Biv
Biv
DeVoe.
DeVoe, they
Bell
was
Biv
all
DeVoe.
successful
Mhm.
by themselves. And so that just attests to the talent that they put together and the eye that they had. Like back then, I feel like we had some really, like back then coming up 80s, 90s, 70s. That's when people really had real talent. Now today, I feel like a lot of these groups that's coming together, it's more so aesthetically, are you appeasing to the masses, and then we
Yeah.
can just make you a star. It's not all about talent
Talent.
anymore. It's
Mhm.
about, do you just look like a star? Do you look
Yeah.
like a star? So, but back then you didn't have to be super pretty to be popular. Like even when they talk about, like, I know we're talking about Bobby Brown, but just kind of like when you think about the history of it all, like groups like SWV and groups like Escape, they wasn't technically the supermodel type group, but they were talented, and their talent took them a whole long way. So yeah, I just want to get off that soapbox for a minute, you know. But Bobby Brown, I love this song because I like to try to look at people in their totality. And when I see Bobby Brown, when I've listened to him talk and do interviews, you could tell that there is a very sensitive nature to him and very like authentic nature to him. But because he chose to not be anybody's puppet, they made him like he was a bad boy, but he really wasn't a bad boy. He just said, I want to live my life, and I'm not going to allow you, I'm not going to let you tell. Like, the one thing I love, and this is such a negative thing to say, but still at the same time, this is what I love about him. Even when they were trying to say that he got Whitney Houston on drugs, even though he knew the whole story, he never once tried to defend himself because he had an understanding. Y'all gonna believe what y'all want to believe, just like he
Yeah.
said in the lyrics. Everybody talking all this stuff, just let me live, but y'all gonna believe what y'all want to believe anyway.
Yeah.
So I'm not about to waste my energy and my time to try to defend myself. I'm just gonna live my life, and eventually, I think he felt like y'all found out the truth one day, so it is what it is, you know.
Yeah.
But
And then maybe he just loved her
yeah,
enough to want to preserve her image. Like it's not, they already think this about me. You know, why do I need to even confirm or deny what you think, whatever? And
right,
you know, and Whitney had this image that we all thought she was this
right,
good girl, you know, and Bobby corrupted her, but everybody's is an adult too, right? But
yeah, and
even
then
even I should say, even if he was the influencer, which it turns out he was not. But if he was the person that she was an adult.
Yeah, but they created the thing a lot of people don't know. They created that image of Whitney Houston. That's not who she
Yeah.
was. I
Yeah.
right,
remember she did it, and I know this is not about Whitney Houston, but she did an interview years ago. I mean, a long time ago. And I remember she said, I love my Newport cigarettes and my Lowenbrow. You know, people ain't drinking that kind of beer no more. But I'm just saying, she was a rounded way girl.
She
And
was.
that's who she wanted to be. But they created this person that they wanted her to have that image, and she was the bad girl,
Yeah.
not
and that's why
kind
she
of,
was attracted to him.
she was a roundaway girl. I don't want to say bad girl, and they did good together. You know, I mean, the drugs, of course, it was, you know, but I believe they really loved one another. He loved her, you know, and everybody was in their business, you know, but yeah, she was a
It's,
she was a runaway girl.
I think for Bobby to talk about Bobby Brown, it's very difficult not to talk about New Edition or Whitney Houston. Like it's just hard. That's who you think about when you think about Bobby Brown. You definitely think about Whitney and you think about New Edition because
Yeah.
those two things or people or entities, those were a big part of him and his public image, right? Because when
Mhm.
he and Whitney got together, they were, you know, this couple that everybody was talking about. I went back, Ty, you were talking about talent. I have recently been listening to Bobby. He was on something. Oh, he was on a Versus. And I'm like, man, Bobby cannot sing. He's lost all his voice. He can't. Y'all need to go back and look. I'm like, he
No,
can't
he
sing.
can't.
He can't. So I went back today. I listened to Bobby's song, the one we're listening to. I've been listening to that one all week, but I listened to Don't Be Cruel, and I forgot the other one. And I watched the video with him and Whitney. We have something in common because I'm like,
Yes.
could Bobby ever really sing? I'm like, I had to think to myself, like, Bobby can't sing, but could he ever sing? I promise y'all, Bobby could sing at one point.
Yeah,
He could. He wasn't a Whitney Houston type singer. No, he wasn't that level, but he could sing. So I was like, he's just lost some of his vocals over the years. So I really. Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he had. I think he had two. He had one. He had one when him and Whitney was together, and then I think he had another one. So that crooked thing that he got in his mouth, everybody was saying that it was due to drugs, but no, actually, it was due to him having a stroke.
Wow, see, that's something new. I did not know he had a stroke. I try not to watch a lot of, celebrity news, but that's good to know because that probably has something. But it really did. Once I heard him, I'm like, could he ever sing? And I'm like, oh, okay, you could sing. You weren't to her caliber, to some other people's caliber, but he did have some vocals because I loved him.
And he had charisma. It was just something like about Bobby Brown.
Yeah.
Like he just really had charisma. He was approachable. He was relatable. Because they all came from pretty much the hood. They all had something that you could kind of like really, really relate to. And then when you think about it, he was a young man. Like he say in the lyrics, he said, "Ego trips is not my thing. All these strange relationships really get me down, but I see nothing wrong with spreading myself around." He was a young man. That's what those 18
with money.
Right, a young man with money, 18, 19, 20 years old. What do you expect him to do? So you'll give a pass to the so-called bachelor or Hollywood bachelor. They can spread themselves around, no problem. They can have as many girlfriends and be linked to as many women, and it's no problem. But this person that y'all want to label a certain way, because he had a few little run-ins, he can't be like that. Like I get so sick of people telling people what they can and can't be. Like leave people alone, let them live their life, and it is what it is.
He said in this line, some messy questions, why am I so real? But they don't understand me. I really don't know the deal. It's about her brother. But when he said some messy questions, I'm like, I feel like he was talking about people being messy. Like y'all want to just get some stuff started and be messy. Because especially this was around the time where he left New Edition. So y'all want to start stuff, ask me all these messy questions so y'all can have something to write about and talk about and then say that I'm this bad person. So it was like, I feel like sort of like a setup because this man wanted to do what he wanted to do.
Right.
He was my favorite.
He was her favorite of the group. Yeah.
He was my favorite too. But I had a crush on Ralph, but he was my favorite. But so like people always trying to stir things up, stir the pot, ask these questions and I think those things, especially when you're in a public eye and maybe you separated from the people, but when you hear about these things that people write about, it can cause problems, even though you might not have even said it that way, meant it that way, but because people are reading it, they think, oh, this is what he said, and just starting trouble and starting problems with people because it sells papers, it's new, that thing.
They created that bad boy image for him. That's not who he was,
They created the bad boy image for him, but then he also was just being who he was.
Yep.
That's another thing. Like he was being who he was, and then now the label we just gonna call him the bad boy R&B. Okay, whatever.
Well, because it didn't align with the image of these, these boys, these good, these straight-laced good boys. And so he was like the outlier. And so we have to do something else to create something. You're not following the directors. This is what we want you to do. And you're not doing it. So this is what we're going to say about you, you know. But and have y'all seen the movie New
Oh
Edition?
yeah,
Yeah.
I've
Yeah,
watched it a few
yeah,
times. Yeah,
yeah, yeah. Yeah, anything of that had to do with them, I definitely watched. So I think the movie, they all had input in the movie. Like the movie portrays what happened. I
Mhm.
like that were so open as to what happened within the group. And Bobby wasn't really happy. But I think like sometimes people they might need some more space. Maybe a group is not where they want to be or need to be, and they outgrow it. You can outgrow stuff.
Yeah,
You
Yeah,
can outgrow
absolutely.
it.
He
Yeah.
was there to do what he was supposed to do and then move on. He had other talent. He had other things he needed to do beside, outside the group. And he wasn't able to do that within the group. So yeah.
So
and
let me
then
ask you all this question. Go ahead.
as a
Go
group,
ahead.
they had a certain aesthetic, just like it's like they gonna sing certain songs. And I feel like with all of those different personalities in the group, I feel like it was inevitable that they ended up going their own ways because everybody got their own style, their own different things. Like, yeah, I don't mind being a part of the. It's kind of like how Destiny's Child was. It's like, yeah, we all a part of the group, but we all have our own certain type of music that we want to make. And I feel like what's wrong with somebody in a group wanting to have a solo project? That ain't you wanting to break up the group. You just kind of that's just like if you a twin. I couldn't imagine being a twin and then my whole life it's like I gotta literally be stuck to you, glue. We 50 years old and we still gotta dress alike. No, like I'm still my own person. So
So
Yeah.
let me ask you all a question. This is a point of conversation as I was going through this. It's a couple of questions I have. So let me start with this. Do you consult with others when you're making like big decisions for your life? And I'll put it out there to all the viewers as well. You can put it in the comments, but
I
just
do.
starting with Diane and Ty.
I do. I do consult, even though the ultimate decision is mine. So maybe want to bounce it off to somebody, and I choose the people that I share it with. Knowing that those people are going to give me their honest opinion and give me something to think about and give me something to kind of weigh it out. I might be only thinking one way, and then somebody else might say something. I'll be like, oh, well, I didn't think about it like that. Or, if I do that, this might happen, or maybe it's a good thing. So I do consult with other people because to me, those are other eyes that can help you see things a little different. But you got to make sure that you're sharing it with the right people because some people take you down a rabbit hole and then put dirt on when you get in it. So
I like that. I like that.
I'm gonna get a most honest answer because I was in my mind trying to figure out how to say this, but for me it really depends on what it is. Like if it's something that I know in my heart of heart, like I'm dead set on this thing that I want to do, and I don't want nobody to change my mind about it. I just don't tell anybody, and I just do it. But then if it's something that like I'm 99% sure that I may want to do it, but it's like, let me just see what somebody else think. Then, I'll ask the input of other people. But I think for me, because so a lot of times, especially with me being a creative, I know sometimes it's like people may not even understand me. So sometimes it's just like I don't feel like having to explain why I'm doing something. So I just end up depending on how I feel about it, it's like, yeah, I'm just not gonna tell nobody and I'm gonna just do it and then whatever people say, that's what they say. So that's
Yeah,
what
I'm more like that.
that's a pep talk I had to give myself when I put out my first book. Literally, that was the pep talk. Because me being scared to push the button to publish it, and then I said, you know what? It's people that's gonna like it. It's people that's gonna hate it. It's people that's gonna
absolutely.
be indifferent. And once I settled that into myself, then that would help me make my decision. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm more like that, Ty. I'm weird probably because Big decisions, I don't consult people on it. I'm going to I analyze the situation. I do my research. I decide I want to do it. I'm going to do it. I don't ask people. I ask God. I'll pray on it and meditate and write about it and journal about it. But I'm going to do it. So in my conversation, it's not more like, hey, what do you think? It's more like, hey, this is what I'm doing. If I even say that. But if I mention it, it's not a question that I'm asking when I'm making big decisions. Now, maybe on the other hand, if I'm making a small decision like, hey, you think I should get braids or should I wear my, then I probably would ask your opinion. Then I might be like, yeah, what y'all think? I did braids last time. I will. That's the truth. Something small, and I'm trying to figure out, hey, should I have the lamb or and I don't even eat lamb, but if I have lamb or the fish, it's just like something small, then yeah, I might ask. Yeah, you think I should get some false eyelashes for my birthday? Stuff like that, I'll ask. But anything, big decisions that have to do with my life, big things to do, I don't ask people their opinion because to me it doesn't matter. and I'm with Ty on you may not even really understand what it is I'm trying to do or my rationale about it, or it's probably something you've never done anyway, so you're not gonna really get why I want to do this thing, and you may not have the expertise, so I'm not going to consult people generally.
And I think most people who are business minded or who are, I don't even want to say business minded, who are entrepreneurs, because we're used to taking certain type of risks. We know that, like for instance, if I'm saying, like I was just watching something about Bill Gates, and when he said, I want everybody to have a computer in their home, and everybody was telling him that's crazy. That's like one of them things I consider, like, if I got this vision in my mind, I'm gonna just go with it, because I don't need everybody telling me it's crazy, talking me out of my thing, and then Apple come along, and then now they got
Right.
data.
Right.
Right. Yeah, when it comes to those things, people don't know. When you're creating and you're seeing and you have a vision, God only gave it to you.
Yeah.
To see it. But there's certain areas in my life I do consult people about certain moves. But when it comes to creativity and people don't see it. To them, like you always saying, it looks crazy because it's not their vision.
Yeah.
It's something that God has given you to see, and most of the time people do say that it's crazy until it go forth, and then they'll tell you that was a crazy idea, but it actually was really good. So
yeah. And you know what, thinking about what you're saying, Diane, you make me think about my mom. My mom tells me that I'm very secretive. Um she says that she says that I'm very secretive in that, and I think that could be possibly true, because while I seem like I'm a very open and people think they know everything about me, and then like something to happen and they be like, I never knew that. And I understand now why she say that, because some crazy big, like I've lived really recklessly, and not saying that in a bad way, but just like do stuff and people be like, girl, you went to Japan by yourself and didn't tell nobody. Like, that's just the type of reckless behavior that I would do. And I think I understand now why my mom thinks I'm secretive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's something I'd engage in. I'm gonna go into Mexico. I'll see y'all in a few days. Be like, girl, when I'm to pick up all my stuff and move to North Carolina and didn't know anybody. I didn't consult anybody on that decision. And I was like, that's what I'm doing. And that's a big decision to make. And I could possibly have said, hey, I'm thinking about doing this. What do you think? And I could just imagine I know how many people would have tried to talk me out of that, because that's crazy, girl. Why would you do something like that? You don't have a job. I didn't even have a job when I went there. I'm like, hey, I got a degree. I can teach. I'm going to find some place to teach, right? So, yeah, those types of things, I think.
I get that.
Yeah, they'll try to talk you out of some stuff because they don't.
Those decisions, you're absolutely right. When I came, I just left. I had different cities to come. Like you said, I did my research, but I just packed up. I quit my job, everything. I didn't really know nobody here. I had a girlfriend here, and and with 2 kids. So you're absolutely
And that's
right.
one of those crazy things that you did that people will view as crazy, right?
How you
Why
know it? Yeah.
everybody talking all this stuff about me? Why don't they just let me live? I don't need permission, making my own decision. That's my prerogative. So,
Absolutely.
and I'm like, I get you. I'm feeling you, Bobby. I'm feeling you. We right here.
Okay.
Yeah. So in this day and age and what we live in, I think people really feel like they have a right, especially with these platforms that we're on. People feel like they have a right to just tell you and get in your business, tell you what you should and shouldn't be doing. So great conversation, ladies.
Yeah.
And nobody, I asked the question to the group, I forgot what it was. Do you all consult with others when making decisions? That's out there to our viewers. I don't see any. Did we get any responses for that before we move on? Okay, that's just out there to you all if you want to think about, if you want to respond. But in the meantime, we have a really great question. I love this question for what's going on. And for all you parents out there, we get ready to move on to what's going on. Let's go.
Okay.
Ty, what do we have?
So with what's going on, here's the scenario that our viewer put in. She said, some people think that kids should leave home and experience the world as when they get 18 or 21. Others don't want their kids to ever leave home. How do you ladies feel about this topic? Okay, so okay. This is how I'm gonna do my answer. So with my mom, there was no pressure. Like, okay, so I'm gonna even go back to my grandmother. By the time my grandmother, like with all of her children, um, wait, let's go back real quick. Karen says I did that with 2 kids, 2 VA boys. Okay, when she moved away. So okay, I think what she was saying. Okay, not really. Yeah. Loretta said she consult God. Okay, go back to the question. Sorry. Okay, so my grandmother, when her girls, not the boys, because a lot of the boys still live with her after they got older, but with the girls, like 18, 20 something years old, they kind of moved out on their own, whatever. But with my mom didn't force me out of the house or anything like that when I turned 18 or 21. She didn't force me to like live on my own. It was like, hey, you can stay here until you get on your feet and be sufficient enough to take care of yourself or whatever. For me, as I'm in a Black community, particularly, we are some of the biggest people that pushes our kids out at 18 and 21 or 18. Like when you turn 18, you either got to go to college, get a job, whatever, this and that. And I feel like we don't necessarily prepare our kids for the future, especially in this day and age in terms, because back then, because people were so used to living, this is my opinion, of course. So people were so used to living rough life. It's like, well, I made it. You got to be smart. You got to know how to make it in this world. So you need to get out there and you need to figure it out, just like I figured it out. But I feel like in this day and age, we got a little bit more cushion. And I think our children are a little bit more sheltered than they have been, even from when I was growing up. So I feel like we should at least from the younger age groom our children to be in the space to move out on their own if that's something that they choose to do. But then still set a boundary. Hey, Leo. But then again, like set a boundary. Tell them ahead of time. Tell them when they turn 13. Start telling them when they turn 13. Okay, at 25, I'm gonna want you to be responsible and be able to be out of my house by 25 years old. I think you'd be grown enough to, move out and this and that. So like start grooming your kids early, teaching them about money, teaching them about credit, teaching them about the real world, the stuff that the schools aren't teaching them, so that when they do become 18 or 21, you ain't necessarily got to push your kids out. But they may have enough courage and confidence to leave on their own because you groomed them to be in that mental space. That's my thought. Because I don't want my son to stay home forever because I like my personal time. So
Okay. I think that for me, I have 2 different generations. I got one 17 and then I have the two that's in their 30s. And I feel that, okay, Kareem is getting ready to graduate next year. He's graduating. He decided that he wants to go to college for 4 years. And my thing is spread your wings. You need to go out. I have given you the tools. Like you said, I am prepping you and showing you what you need to be, but you need to go ahead and be a man. Now, if you need to come back home and you need some help, I got you. But for me, I feel like that's because he's going to college, so he's going to be away for 4 years, right? So he's going to be growing. That's a growing time. So he's going to grow. He's going to develop some habits. He can't bring those habits back home. See, when they come back home, they don't want to listen because they've been doing their own thing. So you have now created your own life in your own ways. So we want to still love one another and get along, because then now when you come back home, you're going to be a man.
Right.
So you need to have your own space. And I feel that and know that he could do it. But if he can't, he can always come back home. My other two sons are sufficient. The oldest one, he came back a few times. But door's not a revolving door either. So because I feel that my thing is figure it out. But my thing is, you got to remember, I am here, but I don't want to be, well, you know what? I ain't gonna pay my rent, because you know what? I go to my mama house. So now you're not being responsible. So I want you to be responsible. My middle son left and went and lived with his dad in 11th grade. He has not been back home, and he is in his 30s, and he's doing his thing. Even my oldest son, he got a family. They didn't come back home. But the door's open. But I want you to know what it is to be able to have that. This is mine. You don't have to worry about me saying, pick that up. You put that cup that. You don't have to hear me say all that. You got your own space. Plus, I want to come and visit you. Plus, mama want to spread her wings. Like I told Kareem the other day. Let me tell you this. The other day, he walking around with his underwear on. Don't you know I want to walk around with my underwear on too? But I can't. Okay? I want to be able to still walk around, and I can still want to look at myself. See, people don't think about those things. I want to have that freedom. But Ty, I agree with you. We need to make sure that our kids are prepared to go into the world and not just push them out there and say, figure it out. That's not fair, because all of the things that, for me, maybe some things that my mother taught me and the way she raised me is not the same that I'm going to do with my boys, But we do need to prepare them and let them know what the world have to offer. But you need to be responsible, And I just want to let Kareem know you got to be responsible now. He want to walk around. But when you got your own,
No, right?
huh?
He
Yeah,
said, no, we're not doing that.
yeah. So if he didn't go to school, and he chose to get a job when because you got to do something. You can't be, I'm not waking up and you still in the bed. That's not going to happen. You got to get out. So if he chose to just still be home, I'm not going to say, oh, you 18, you got to get out. Then now we got to wean that together, wean him out to do and prep. But now you're going to a 4-year college. And I asked him, I said, you don't want to go to community college for 2 years, 2 years first? He said, no. You know what he said to me? I want the whole experience. So the whole experience entails when you graduate, baby, get your roommate, okay? Get your place. I'm just saying, that's just how I feel. That's my take on that answer. Yeah.
Can I say something?
Sure.
Okay, so this is my thought process with even like when they go away to school, or even like some parents when they kids turn 16 and they working, and then they may have them contribute to the household. In my mind, I feel like if my son is working and he's a teenager, and I may say, give me $100 out of your paycheck every month. But what I want to do is not put that money in my pocket. I want to put it in an account that's earning interest. So then maybe when he do graduate college, or if he don't go to college and he turned 18, but he want his own space. Hey, you remember all that money you was giving me every paycheck? Here it is, sitting in the bank account that earn interest. Here you go. Enjoy life.
Absolutely.
Like, why we can't do that?
Right.
We can.
We can.
We can do it.
All that. He been acting up. He wanted to get up here. Now he want to act up. Well, my sons are all adults now. I had this different experiences with the mom. I will say a couple of my sons, because I have four, before they were like 21, they wanted to be grown, not adhere to the rules, do what they want to do. And so then we can no longer cohabitate. So that's just how that went. We could no longer cohabitate. And it wasn't like I was pushed. They could stay, but like you can't do whatever you want to do though and be in this house. When you get grown, yeah, I mean you can do that, but this is still my house. This is still my place. I'm still taking care of you technically. Okay, so if we can't agree and you want to be an adult, then you should be an adult, you know.
Yeah.
So it wasn't pushed out. You know, I did have my other two sons, the younger two. When my youngest one went to college, he decided he hadn't come home since he went away to college. But the other one, you know, we've lived together here and there. And now I'm at the place where nobody can live with me anymore. Nobody. No. My sons are all almost 30. My youngest is 28. If there's an extreme, you know, thing, of course, you know, I'm not gonna be like, no, you have this, you're homeless, but you can't come in. No, but I feel like men need to be men. And just allowing you to lay up in somebody, you know, room and living with your mama when you 30 and 40 years old. No, I'm not going to do that and handicap you like that. But back to the question, I don't think we should force her. I think you made a good point. We should prepare our kids if we have the tools. I left home when I was 17. The day after I turned 17, I left. I have not been back since then. But I knew that I wanted to. I couldn't wait to turn 17 to escape. But did I know how to live on my own? Was I prepared? I did one of those. You got to learn. Like you there, you're going to learn while you're in it, right? On the job type stuff. And but I don't think that was, you know, the right way to do it. You're right, Ty. We should prepare our children. But I think by the time they're 21, 22, 23, 25, you should be now ready to be living your own life by now.
Yeah.
And I think it's fair. I think it's the right thing, not only for the child, but for parents, because we've done our job. Now it's time for you to live your life and be, you know, independent, an independent woman or man. So
I remember when I did turn 18 though, and still was living with my mom. Now she did have this thing. She said, I'm not gonna take care of you no more. I'm not gonna buy you food. I'm not, you know, if she cooked, of course I can eat. But like she didn't buy me food, she didn't buy my personal items or anything like that. So it was like, okay, you got a roof to stay under, you got a roof with somewhere to lay your head, but I'm not gonna pay your phone bill. Anything you trying to do, don't come ask me for money. If you want to hang out in the streets and be partying and stuff, don't ask me for no club money. Don't ask me for no drinking money. So that part, I'm appreciative of that, you know, because it's like that's still like, you know, you not being taken care of. You're not a grown person being taken care of by your mother. But even with the relationship that I have with my son, I don't see him wanting to stay once he turns an adult, but I do see him still having a room in my house because it just that's my only child, and then we just have that type of relationship. So I do see myself sometimes probably coming home and seeing his car in my driveway and saying to myself, what is this boy doing here? And he just chilling in his room like he still live with me, and then probably going, you know, so I see us having that type of bond. But
look, don't prepare no room because he definitely got, there's no room prepared for you here.
No,
okay.
You know, my son, even if it was a room that I said it was my guest room.
Guest room. I have a guest room.
It's going to be his room.
No.
Okay. Put the key in the door and you don't see my car, you might get a surprise yourself.
Right. This is what I'm saying. No, mama, you can't just walk in mama house.
You can't just walk in, you better call and text.
But I'm saying that, but one of my sons, he does have a key to my house, and he just walk in. I'm like, I'm gonna need you to call before you just come walk. He'll just come to my house and just open the door and be like, "Hey, it's me." I'm like, dude, like I'm in the bathroom. I just got out the shower.
Yeah, I do think adult children, especially if they have keys to their parents' house, they need to call first. Don't just walk
Yes.
in. If they
Yeah.
what's that movie, Naked Fridays in the living room? Like, don't come in my room. Like
Yeah.
I'm a grown person, I'm free. Don't just come in my house.
Exactly. I'm wrong. Even if I don't have company, maybe I'm just walking around, and
Absolutely. I can't wait.
yes.
When you go to college, I'm coming home after you take them off. You can when I come home, I'm dropping everything right at the door, my clothes, everything, just boom, and I'm gonna just run around like that. Yeah, I'm free.
Yeah, because that's like you feel liberated. When you can do that, man, it's a good feeling. It's a good feeling.
Yeah,
Okay.
Let's stop pushing our kids out.
And I'm an older parent.
Yeah, I don't believe in pushing you. Don't at 18, like unless you have just a very estranged relationship with your child and it's a very toxic situation.
Absolutely.
But like if they just a good kid and they trying to figure life out, like I'm not in agreement of 18 years old, you just pushing your kids out. Like
get out.
They gotta have more direction.
Yeah.
Than just putting them out. But you go to
that's
college.
That's still pretty young. That's still pretty young.
18 is.
Yeah.
Even when
they in school, I can see you setting a boundary and saying, you know what, okay, I'm gonna give you another year. Let's figure this out. What can we do to get you in the
absolutely
moving out? But at 18, they still kind of like babies in the mind.
They are still babies. They're still baby. At 21, then you start. You need to be preparing to be on your own and independent. So but that was a good question. Thanks for presenting that. And I'm an empty nester, so I advocate for all of you empty nesters. Hey, we need our time too. Diane is counting down the days, but as you and Mocha, for your question. Before we leave, though, we have to talk about our contest, right? So our contest, if you or someone wants to create a theme song for Ladies and Lyrics, we're looking for you. Yes, you, and you. If you have not shared us yet, go ahead and share us. Share us with all your friends. Share all this goodness, as Diane will say, with others. And so that every other good, yes. So that people could see this contest, enter. If you want to create a song, it could be any genre. It could be gospel, rap, reggae, right? Whatever you want to create, go ahead and do that and send it to Ladies and Lyrics 3@gmail.com. We're looking for you. We're looking for 3 finalists. Then we're going to choose one person to create a song for this show. Thank y'all for tuning in tonight. Great conversation. We always love you. We call you all our 4th co-host. We always love to have you chime in. Feel free to do that every week. Come back here next Wednesday, same time. We'll have another great song. You'll be with us, the dope women of Ladies and Lyrics. See y'all next week.
Good night.
Bye-bye. Let's go, Bobby.
Oh, well, I wasn't ready, so we'll get after the day.